G'day there, everyone. Sorry I couldn't quite make it to the 21st. I'm on the other side of the whole world, so it was a little bit tricky to get on a plane back for it. I'm currently in Brooklyn in New York and supporting a pretty large hangover, so appreciate the level of commitment I've done to this little cyber speech. I'm sure at this party tonight, there's a lot of beverages involved, including Arab's favourite Bundy and Cheeky's favourite Jimmy. You guys probably got some silly outfits, and I'm sure within 10 minutes of the speeches finishing, half the guys won't be wearing tops for some reason. I think we think it's cool. For Tom, I'm sure there's a lot of snacks being served. I'm sure there's a lot of the cheese variety. And to Shonky, I'm sure there are a lot of bubbies. Sorry if I'm repeating a story that someone's already said. I didn't have time to consult with all the different people making a speech at your party, but so put in apologies for that. To go on from the term bubbies, word has in fact travelled all the way from Australia across the Pacific Ocean and to the American continent that just last Saturday night at the Continental Dance Floor, to be specific, a face rape kissing of a young bubby has occurred. Now, I don't know if it was Tom or if it was Shonky, but I'm pretty sure it was the latter. So hopefully she's out in the crowd, which will make this even better. Now, if you're a girl out there in this crowd tonight at the party and you've met my good friend Luke Williams, it would be fair to say at some point, maybe in the last 5 minutes, he's deeply fallen in love with you. Now, this isn't a crime, he's just a very passionate young man. So compassionate one day to say that Mr. Cheeky, Chunk, Harriet, Oz and Cal were all discussing who they thought it would be inappropriate for each of us to hook up with. And I think Oscar opened it up with saying that it would be pretty suspicious if one of us to hook up with Katie. Harriet went on to say it wouldn't be nice if anyone hooked up with Chloe. And then I think Cal mentioned he didn't really mind whatever, everyone did. And then it got to Shonky, and Shonky firmly comes into the conversation and goes, "Now look guys, you can't hook up with Hannah, you can't hook up with Alice, Eloise, Cass, Tennille," and he lists 5 or so girls that we all know, and he said it was completely unacceptable and that he forbidden it. Now, in all honesty, after have Shonky's back here, I'm deadly certain that he just had the girls' best interest at heart. He didn't want to see any of their hearts get broken by any of us boys, and I'm really sure he was purely just looking out for their best interests. He just genuinely cared. Now, I tried to think long and hard about what incriminating stuff I could say about my good friend Mr. Aliotti. I've known him for quite some time now, since the early Woodley days, where his OCD ways was starting to kind of blossom. I can remember him running to the top of Mount Oberon on Year 7 camp for $2, I think. So just to prove that he could, and then I got up to the top 20 minutes later and I was like, congrats, you ran up a mountain, big whoop. And then it kind of relates to his pyromaniac ways as well back at Woodley, where on Year 8 camp, I think we went to Lawn, and Tom decided the act of rolling up our breakfast cereal of Cocoa Pops in paper in the shape of a cigarette and to light and smoke them was a fun process. And to this day, tell me, I don't know what you're thinking about rolling up Cocoa Pops and smoking them, pal, but if you just do you, that's what Americans say. I think more of this pyromaniac ways has come out. We've seen many bonfires, some lemon gun shootings. Sorry, Wade Sampson's chest, that's on footage somewhere on the internet. A lot of firework pranks. Apologies to Shoreham and Point Leo local letterboxes for our damage in our younger days. And of course, the combination of a lighter and a can of Lynx, which Tom has scared the shit out of a lot of people with. As much as we love Tom for his questionable support he gives to some quite silly sounding ideas, such as drinking himself stupid at 9 a.m. at Caden's house before we all went to Portsea that night, nothing can quite beat the man's pure generosity. For example, waking up at Caden's house the next morning and realising that you've just spent $925 in one night, to this day still makes me laugh. And but I actually still just don't know how he could do that. I don't know where $925 goes in one night. It's pretty hectic. But so wrapping it up, like apart from Shonky's sometimes quite questionable fashion sense, which throws all the ladies and guys into disarray and laughter at times, and as well as his typical sayings which we all quite know well these days, such as Jimmy, beautiful, and okay, sure, and excellent, brilliant. Well, I've basically got nothing bad to say about you, bud. I've had a wonderful time getting to know you over the last 9 or so years, from going on surfing adventures around Australia to playing Drenos with the boys in Flinny, and of course partying up at your different houses. I'm still really sorry about throwing up at your Phillip Island house as well. I think that one's going to stay with me for a while. But I'd just like to say you're a loyal, honest and outgoing dude, and I'm sure everyone here at your party is here because they all love you, mate, and you're great fun to be around. Then over to Shnee, aka Arab Rat, Rab, Arab Body, Smelly Oddy, Shnee Schnosh Snappy, Ratty Otty, Smelly Oddy, wherever you are in the room tonight, mate, apart from your cheese loving, budgie smuggling, OCD, clubby ways, to occasionally risking my life with fireworks and antiperspirant can explosions, I too have nothing bad to say about either, mate. From the early days at Woodley, I've really pretty happy to say I've acquired you as a close friend, and look, just remembering back to all your summer holiday parties at Point Leo House, that was some of the funnest times in my younger days. I'm just happy to say I'm still good friends with you at this age, and I love you, mate. Like Shonky, you two are a loyal, committed and trustworthy friend, and I'm just really proud to say that both of you guys is really good friends of mine. So there's a heart warmer, and it's been a great pleasure getting to know both of you. It's quite a shame I couldn't be here at your party tonight to help celebrate your milestone. It's a big one, 21st. I can remember all you guys were at mine, so it was pretty special for you guys to make my birthday so special. So I hope that you guys have the exact same night. I can just wish you the best of time and hope that this party's a ripper. So from about 18,000 kilometers away and a big hangover in the middle of suburban New York in Brooklyn, I'd just like to say a toast to both of you guys. So happy birthday. I've got a really big headache, and I hope you guys are having a ripper of a time on the other side of the world. Happy birthday.